Welcome to Science Lesson 12. We are going to be reviewing a little bit about what you read yesterday. So, yesterday you were talking or you were reading about machines and the forces that they do. We learned about a simple machine and a compound machine. Now, we're going to review some types of machines that you read about yesterday, and I want you to tell me if the machine that I name is simple or if the machine that I name is compound. Remember, compound machines are a bunch of machines working together. Simple machine is just usually one thing working or making something happen. So listen for the machine that I name, and I want you to say out loud whether it's a simple machine or a compound machine. Okay, now as I say the machine, I want you to visualize that machine in your head. Ready? Gears. Hopefully you said simple. What about pulley? Hopefully you said simple as well. What about bicycle? Did you say compound? Great job. What about wheelbarrow? That's one of the tricky ones. It may seem like a simple machine, but it's actually a compound machine. What about lever? That is a simple machine. And our last one, what about cell phone? That is a compound machine. There are several different things working together in order to make your cell phone work. All right, so do you like to build things? What is the best way to build something strong? We will learn about that today. All right, today we're going to be talking about gravity and structure. First, we're going to talk a little bit about gravity. Have you ever thrown a ball up in the air? I'm sure you have. Have you ever wondered what makes the ball come back to you? Have you noticed that it doesn't just stay in the air when you throw it in the air? Well, that is because of a force that we cannot see that God has put into play called gravity. Gravity is the pull of the earth to itself. So everything on the earth is being pulled back to the earth. So maybe you pushed your little sister or brother on a swing and they went up. You notice they went back down. It is because of gravity that they came back down instead of just staying up or even going further and going off into space. So these are things that we call laws of nature. Our God has designed our world to be able to pull things back to itself so that we aren't floating off in space like you would if we were to travel into outer space. But here on Earth, gravity is the force that pulls objects back to the Earth. So in that object, the weight of that object will determine how strong gravity pulls it back to the Earth. So we could think the more you weigh, the stronger the force of gravity pulling you back to the Earth. Now, again, that is called laws of nature. Now, how many of you have had a balloon and have let that balloon go and it just kept going and you couldn't get your balloon back? Well, you may be wondering, well, if gravity is where everything is being pulled back to the earth, how did that balloon that I let go of keep on going onto outer space? Why didn't gravity bring it back to me? You may be wondering, does gravity only work sometimes, or maybe does gravity only work for certain things? Well,
It's lunchtime.
So although that balloon floated off into space, it does not mean that gravity was not working. What God has done is that He has allowed other forces to be stronger than others. So although gravity is pretty strong, at least in our case, or for things that we are used to, in the case of the balloon, gravity is not the stronger force at hand. So that force that's in the balloon that causes it to go off into space and you never to get your balloon back is stronger or more powerful than the force of gravity.